Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK Journey video. So yesterday I released a video with regards to the 2-time, 1-time manual auto buttons as well as the targeting feature that you can use to help you clear harder contents in case you need a little bit of edge to push through. And I saw some comments saying that, hey Zeep, you forget about record function. Hey Zeep, you forget about this, you forget about that. Okay, let me clarify, okay, the record function as well as the global help function, they are originally intended to be pointers in the Ultimate Progression Guide video, which I want to spend some time to talk about. Then I realized that, hey, I actually have a lot of different topics that I can put into the Ultimate Progression Guide to do a grand compilation. And I can do this topic which people say that I forget on its own. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 2 AFK stages tips and tricks or just mechanics that I can use to become an AFK progression pro. So these 2 feature, right, one of them, it's I believe most people should know by now. I'm just gonna share my own like how and when I'll use it, right? So the very first feature, I'm just gonna go to challenge this boss over here. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go on auto, and I'm gonna talk while I run this on auto. So the very first feature is the global help feature. So you can actually request for help from somebody, right? Once for the open world and once for the AFK stage every single day. This is a very important feature because you can borrow units from the whales, you can borrow units from the really strong player in your guild, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So this is the first feature that I want to talk about. Number 1 is the request help feature. So like, oh Zip, why are you talking about such a stupid topic, right? But this feature is really helpful because you can use it once every 24 hours per day. So what happens is you can request for synergy battle from, for example, your guild, or you can request from your friends, or you can request from the team up feature. So I'm just going to request in my guild and see whether or not anybody lends me. So I'm going to request with our dear god over here as well. Hopefully he lends me the unit. So what happens is you send a request. If people lend you their unit will appear in your team synergy. So you can use the unit as a 6 unit. So instead of a 5 unit against your enemy, it's a 6 unit against your enemy. And in most cases, you are going to clear the stage. So other than that, you can also use the world proxy battle request. But for world proxy itself, right, it's using your own unit. So your friend, your guildmates, or other experienced players can use your unit to try to clear the stage. But in cases where your units are simply not strong enough, world proxy battle is not going to be of any help. Like, let's be honest, like, because if you already tried every single thing and then you can't clear it, then it means that, you know, you probably tried your best. But if you have somebody who's really experienced in the game and you maybe think that he could give you a try, you can ask for help and see whether or not the person can clear it for you. So that's that. Usually I will use the world synergy battle because world proxy is, if I'm done with everything and I can't clear the stage, I don't think anybody else can, right? But I will still do it if there's people around who I think that can help me. So you guys can definitely use this feature. So there's another battle request feature for the AFK stages itself, which I'm going to show. So I'm going to leave this on the thing. So, oh yeah, oh, it's here already. Really good. So as you guys can see, right, over here, right, you can actually see, you can actually cancel. Okay, so one thing about this feature is that if you don't want it, you can actually revoke it. So how do you want to use it? You want to use it when you're at this stage that is so difficult for you to clear that you have to request help so that you can land the strongest unit to push through this stage with greater ease. So in the case where maybe, you know, you send the request out and then you realize that, hey, maybe I just need a little bit of AFK time to push the stage, then I can revoke the synergy battle, and then all the units that are sent by my guildmate, my allies, whoever is going to be sent back. And then I'm able to use this world battle feature another time, right? Maybe in the next harder boss or the next harder world content. So this applies to the AFK stage as well. So in AFK stage, if you lose the battle, you'll be able to see the 2 buttons, the proxy battle as well as the AFK select. So I mean AFK, the landing feature from your friends, right? So with a world map, it's once every 24 hours. The AFK stage is also once every 24 hours. So I'm just gonna do the AFK stage and then lose it so that you guys can see what I mean by that. So I guess I'm just going to put 1 unit, right? So to speed things up so you guys can see, right? So what happens for the AFK stage? You can see the exact same button, right? So your world battle, AFK stage, they are separate, and you can request help once per day. So as you guys can see, AFK synergy battle. So it's the same thing. Basically, people send you unit, and the way to use it is the same as the world synergy battle. You want to use it when you reach a stage where it's super duper hard to clear. So for myself, when I usually use it is I will use it when I'm at the 10th level, because you like 340, 350, 360. Usually these stages are harder, and it will take quite a while for me to level up so that I can overpower the boss with stats. So I request help from other people. Then what happens when you do this is that when you open up, for example, like if I clear it 340, right, I open up 341, 342, 343, so on and so forth. Those stages tend to be slightly easier, so I can push a few more stages to earn a little bit more resources. At the same time, I usually don't stack my hourglass with the request feature, because what I want to do is I'll use the hourglass to power up my own units, try to clear the stage. If I cannot, then I request for help, right? So if you use the hourglass, most of the time your units will become strong enough, and then if you feel that it's not strong enough yet, then just AFK for like half a day. That's like 12 hours of resources. Pretty sure by then your units will be slightly stronger. So it's just a little bit of testing and a little bit of pushing along the way. Obviously, if nobody is around to help you with the request itself, right, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, you want to use this feature every single day, at least to try to push every hard stage that you're stuck at, right? So you don't have to min-max like myself. You can just use it as and when you like, but just know that this feature exists, and I'm going to show you guys how this feature works. So we go into the synergy battle, right? Relatively high. Just now we lost to this boss, and these are the units that are sent by the ally. Oh, we have Kami-sama sending me the god. Okay, we get this opportunity to showcase our dear Dionel as well. So yeah, Dionel is a really godlike unit, by the way. Very expensive, but very powerful. But we're gonna showcase it. Okay, so we're gonna use Smokey, and then we have Korean buff, and let's see, do I have Antandra? Yes, sure. So we shall see the power of Dionel and the power of synergy battle. Let's go. Wow, look at Dionel performing. Holy crap, this is the power of money, guys. Power of money. Woo! Thank you God for the so you will show the person's profile over here, and then basically what happened is this guy that sent you the unit, you can actually give him the, hold on, so you can actually give him like PAL coins over here, as you guys can see. So I sent him the request, it's online, so I'm gonna give him the PAL quest. So this will give the player 15 PAL coins. So these PAL coins can be used to exchange for the friendship store, the items here, right? They can use it to exchange for the items to increase their affection level, so on and so forth. So it's a good exchange for both sides, right? Just give you a unit, you do what you want, and then you give me the PAL coins from there. So that's for the first feature. Okay, so the second feature, right, I have to re-record it because I realized that the original position of my display was blocking the buttons, and then when I finished talking, I realized that, oh shit, I screwed up. I couldn't show you guys there because I missed out. So coming to the second point itself, right, let's go into the AFK stage, right? This is what will make you an AFK stage progression pro, because this information button gives you a lot of information about the stage. So from there, you can know how the units work, how the enemies work, you know, what's their different stats, their different abilities, and then you can craft the specific teams to help you clear through the stage itself. So there's two ways to access it. Number one, you go into battle. You click on the I button beside the AFK stage, as you guys can see. You click on it, you'll be able to see all the stats of the enemy, right? AFK stage 341, power level of about 100,000. Then we have the information of all the 5 units. So Flame Soul is very powerful against magic damage dealer, which is good against Odao. And then the other Flame Soul is also good against Odao, right? Then we have Aqua Soul, also good against Odao, which is my primary carry because Odao is a magical damage dealer. So these 3 units simply counters my damage dealer, and from there you can sort of theory craft, okay, I'm not going to use a magic damage dealer, I'm going to use a physical damage dealer, right? The frontliner, to be really honest, if you take a look at the skill, doesn't really matter. It's just like more damage, but they are pretty fair because they're warrior faction. It doesn't really tell you the stats, unfortunately, but from the class of the unit, you can roughly tell, you know, a warrior is generally less tanky than a tank, and then the archer is usually high damage, but they are very weak. So although they don't tell you the stats, but they tell you the type of damage the enemy does, the type of the unit, warrior, tanker, mage, or archer, you tell you the attack range of the unit. So you can also gain this information by just looking at the unit and then clicking on this arrow button to see, you know, like how they will attack you, and then you just do one test run to see how they will move, and then you can formulate a strategy from there as well. But my point is, this part is where it makes AFK Journey a lot of strategizing, right? There's strategizing involved because there's a few times where I can be really underpowered, but I can clear stages like this because I just built a team that counters, right? So here, I'm going to demonstrate this team. and see whether or not we can clear it. So we're gonna go with this run itself. Let's put our deer and Tundra in front on auto mode. Okay. So over here, we're gonna do an auto run to see how we fare from here. But I think I should be able to clear it because I have Torrent, which is a physical damage dealer. But at the same time, my main DPS is Odao. So if this stage doesn't work, I'm gonna do basically the information feature. Okay, so it's not working now because, like, yeah, obviously Odao is not going to kill the enemies with 70% magic damage reduction. So what we can do, like I mentioned, is you can request for synergy battle, or you can test it out yourself. So the other way to access the information page can be found on this page itself. I'll give you guys 3 seconds to spot which button it is to reach the information page once again. So we have 3, 2, 1, 0. So do you manage to find the button on the screen right here? If you haven't yet, it's perfectly fine because the button is hidden all the way at the bottom left hand corner of the battle button. So who the hell will think that this button is a separate button on its own? So if you click, this is the reason why I had to reposition my portrait, because my portrait was at the bottom right hand corner. So I was blocking this button and I was talking a lot about the button. Then I realized that, hey, I was blocking it. So this button over here, as you guys can see, the one that I'm clicking on, right, when you tap on it, you will see this page again. And what this does, right, compared to the I button, it gives you this record feature which everybody has been talking about. Oh, Zeeb, you forget about the record feature. Zeeb, you should tell the beginners about the record feature. So this is the record feature at the bottom right hand side. So you can only gain this, you can gain access to this part of the game, right, by clicking on this scroll. You cannot get it from the I button just now, as you guys can see. So you click on the I button, you get all the information, but you don't get the record feature. Then if you go into this button, you click it, right, bottom left hand corner from the fire sprite head, the fire soul head, you click it, you go into this page. Then from here, you'll be able to see all the different records of people clearing it. So you can take a look at their records. So you take a look, oh, this player have everything that I'm using, but a stronger CC, right? Then we go into Athen. Oh, this player has everything I'm using and he has a CC. Okay. Then you go into maybe the recommended. Oh wow, this player has nearly everything I'm using and he's using a CC. So you will be thinking, oh yeah, maybe CC is the answer for this stage. You can even click on the replay button to see how the players position, what artifacts they're using. So from here, just now we didn't clear Odao, right? Let's do it with CC. How about that? So we're gonna shift out CC. My CC is really low. I don't actually use her 100. So let's start this run, right, with CC as our secondary carry, or maybe the primary carry of this stage. So we are running the same setup, but this time around, I'm going to remove Odao and use CC, and let's see the results. So everything auto, same position, roughly the same thing, just changing out the unit. So there's some stats difference, but this one should probably deal with the backline units much better because CC is a physical attacker. So the magical damage reduction coming out from this unit doesn't affect CC at all. So as you guys can see, CC summon is doing a lot of damage to the backline, and a simple switch of a unit simply helps you clear the stage. So this is where I mean strategizing comes in, because knowing the strat is one thing, but being able to search out the strat from just within the game to see what the other players are doing is also going to be really helpful, right? Other than you just running to Discord and asking people, how do I clear this stage? You can actually find the information from the game itself. So if you go into this, as you guys can see, this is the end page itself, right? For the next stage, this I button will always exist, so you don't have to lose the battle to find out what the unit's about. But the record feature, okay, so if you go into this, right, so if I exit it, if I click on this, right, you have to go into specifically this page and click on the scroll button to see this record feature. So we have this team over here. We're just gonna have a brief run through. So attack speed. So it's a damage dealer. So we have growth. So this one is drain energy. This one is what is physical. This is a broom guard. So this is the tank. So this one is the warrior. So take a look at the record, how people are clearing it. So we have this one. Okay, same team, right? It's higher rarities is here. Okay, this guy, the guy from the previous recommended build. Then we go into this guy as well. So same team, right? CC. So can we clear the same thing? Maybe. Let's give it a try, right? So this time around, I'm going to increase the stats of my other units. I'm not going to use Odao. I'm going to use exact same team, right? But instead, we give more stats to maybe Smokey. Since we are not using Odao, I'm not going to waste the levels and see whether or not we achieve the same result. So second run, this time around with the same team, right? In a different order against the enemy, and see how it runs. So same team, everything is the same. So you can tell that, okay, wow, the Archers, the backlines are doing a lot of damage. And CC uses the ultimate. Okay, so it's start of the counter attack. Okay, Cicia's tank is dying too early. Okay, and then we lose the fight from here. So from here, you can roughly gauge, okay, what am I missing? Am I missing tankiness? Am I missing damage? Do I need more damage? You can just try an arrow from there and then see whether or not, hey, maybe Cicia doesn't have enough damage. Let's go back to Odal being the carry. So this is the strategizing part. This is the thinking part. This is the fun part, to be really honest. And it's got to get more challenging as the AFK stages get harder, because there's double stages and triple stages. But in most cases, right, I can safely tell you, people are just gonna like copy paste. Oh, Cicia's good, Torrent good, right? This unit good, boop, 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 and we go auto. But every other unit in this game has some sort of power level spike that you can abuse to help you clear stages. Obviously, Cicia is the easy way out for AFK story, cause her AoE stun and damage dealing power is super high, but she's not a must, like I mentioned multiple times. I'm just gonna say it again, she's not a must, and this is why I don't rely on her, because I rely on strategizing. I rely on knowing what the enemies do to play my teams around and try to win the match from there. So thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you have become an AFK Challenge Pro, and do remember to like and subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.